Hello, hello, Group A. You guys, you're almost more than halfway through with the course. Congratulations. You have completed Project 1, which is one of the hardest steps. You are on to Project 2, which is going to be finalizing the ideas that you put together in Project 1, coming up with a solution, and then presenting it in a multimodal fashion that should fascinate, engage, and really call your audience to action. So I wanted to share a few helpful resources. They will be coming to you in a Google Docs named Ing 105 Week 5 Notes. A couple of different videos. So first, I have created a screencast. I used this last semester, but it would still apply. It's basically just a how-to instructional video on embedding different sort of resources, hyperlinks, creating different fonts, and what your WPA outcomes and habits of mind should look like. The second thing that I provided here is a link to my ePortfolio. This is the one that I did January of last semester, and it won first place, and it is one of the examples that you guys are using for Project 2. So you're kind of lucky that you get me as your writing fellow, so hopefully I have some good advice to offer through the ePortfolio. It was one of my favorite assignments in Ing 105, so that's a direct link to my ePortfolio. And then I also wanted to just re-reference Professor Tingle's 4 videos that are also kind of the how-tos on navigating the Digication ePortfolio. He posted those earlier in the semester, but if you haven't visited them recently, or if you didn't see them at first, here's just a quick link to the entire playlist of all 4 videos. So it'll be really easy for you to reference those. And I think with a combination of all of these, you should have a pretty good foundation on how to move forward. The second thing I'm sharing in this doc are what I call Michael's favorite research links, but these are the ones that I use all the time, and most of them I got through my ASU online orientation, but there are also a lot that are provided through this first resource, the ASU library. In fact, almost all of these you'll see LibGuides from ASU. It's all linked from ASU. So if you get to the ASU library, you'll probably be able to find what you need. But these will be some good sources, especially local issues and opposing viewpoints and even current issues when you're considering Project 2, because you'll really want to be able to understand what the other side is relating. One question I've gotten pretty frequently is about the use of internet resources. So let me be specific. You can use resources from the internet. In fact, you're required to use resources from the ASU library, either online or the physical library. But what those need to be is a resource online that is linked to a physical resource. So in other words, all of these sites that I've listed, they all link to actual documents that are physical documents housed somewhere in a library. So when you're able to use those resources, those count as credible secondary online resources. What you don't want to do is just Google search opposing viewpoint of abortion, for instance, or whatever, and then use those sources. That would not be considered a reputable or credible secondary online resource. From here, I just want to share with you kind of what I like to do when I have major projects. So I gather all the resources in Blackboard and in online courses. Sometimes all of the different assignment parts are kind of found in different places. So it can be really helpful as you enter a major project to kind of go back through and group all those resources into one document. Feel free to use the one I'm providing, or if not, again, I think it'll be helpful for you to do on your own in the future. So the first thing is the proposal outline. This is going to be one of the most influential parts for you as you start to really outline and strategize how you want to approach Project 2. I'm pretty sure most of you have a good idea in your mind from what I read in Project 1 of how you want to approach Project 2. But there's some very important parts in here, especially alternative solutions, counter arguments, call to action, and genre that will really define how you set yourself up for success in Project 2. All right, so part 3, annotated bibliography. Here again, I just rewrite all the information. This is all copied and pasted directly from the Ing 105 Project 2 board. The other thing I like to do is to go through in a major project outline or overview here and highlight or underline, italicize some of the major points. So again, here the main point of this project is that you will propose a feasible solution to the issue and justify your solution with reasons and evidence derived from secondary source research. Again, with this project, continue to make connections between the composing you do in your academic life and the other communities in which you participate, because this sort of writing is certainly not limited to the university. Project requirements, I did those in red. There are 3 portions to this one project. That's very important to keep in mind. So when you submit a rough draft, almost all of those are due, except sometimes the reflections, at the same time. From there, I go into the what is the proposal. Again, all of this is copied and pasted from the Project 2 and 105. The choose your genre will be very, very important for Project 2 and for really being able to voice your opinions and your solutions in a way that will really reach your audience in a unique and sometimes unexpected way. The last thing I've attached here is the rubric for Project 2. Again, it's always best to read the rubric before you begin, during the revision process, and before you submit your final draft. So that way, again, you just can always make sure that you are aligned with the project goals. I want to point out that most of these portions are 5 to 10 points other than the justification. But the major point value here is the multimodal component, 20 points. So I highlighted the most important words: illustrates, audience, intentional, layout, and quality. So again, you have a lot of really creative freedom in how you want to compose for Project 2. It doesn't need to be an academic paper. It probably shouldn't be an academic paper. So there are several suggestions, but I also want to challenge you guys. You have already shown yourself to be a step above some of the rest. So one of the things when I was in E105, what I actually ended up doing was creating a Weebly website. Weebly.com allows you to create free educational websites. So what I did is I took my issue, which was obviously the Santa Cruz housing crisis, and I developed an entire website around it. So all the text requirements are going to be met through the different pages, through the infographics. You can see in city proposals what's not working, the opposition. Here's where I'm exploring some of the other options that have been considered. Ways for my audience to be able to get involved. And then finally, because this is an academic experience, a page of references. But you don't need to do a website, but I just want to add that in there to show you the level of creativity that you can really embrace for this project. I wish you the best of luck, and I cannot wait to start answering some of your questions. Also, I have already posted the dates for workshops for Project 2. So you're able to sign up for those as soon as your rough draft is finished. Do not sign up before your rough draft is finished, so the early birds get the worm in this case. Again, wish you the best of luck. Reach out with any questions.